Hello, loves. It's Kat here. Welcome into your reading today. So, for today's reading, we are going to be pulling some cards to see what messages of guidance you most need to hear and receive at this time. So, let's go ahead and dive right into today's reading. So, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this deck here. This is the Light Seers Tarot. So, while I'm shuffling the deck, if you feel called to, I always invite you to take a moment to pause, to come back to your center. They're doing some deep intuitive breathing, so we can actually take a couple deep breaths together before I start shuffling. So go ahead and breathe in with me here and then let it out. One more time, breathe in and let it out. One last time together, breathe in love and let everything else go. And go ahead and continue taking your deep intuitive breaths as often as you feel called to. Oh, we've got some stuck energy there. So go ahead and keep doing your intuitive breath work as many times as you feel called to. If you feel called to pause the video just to come back to center, get connected and aligned with your intuition, go ahead and do that now. And while I'm shuffling the deck, if you have any questions or any topics that you'd like to set an intention towards, that you would like to get answers or guidance on, go ahead and take a moment to ask those questions and set those intentions now. And trust that they will be answered in the Divine's perfect timing. And as I always say, this is a general collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. And know that this is a timeless reading. So anytime you feel called to this reading, it's because there is a message of guidance in it for you at the time that you feel called to tune in and listen to the messages of guidance that want to come through for you today. All right, let's go ahead and get one more card. Oh, I'm seeing this one here. We'll pull that one. All right, let's see what we have. Oh, okay, so we have Three of Swords. Starting off with the Three of Swords, we have the Five of Cups, Eight of Cups. Okay, so we have some heavy energy here. King of Pentacles. All right, it's a shift. And we have 21 the World. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's going on here. All right, loves, let's see what's going on with your cards here. So I am picking up on the energy of the upcoming solar eclipse, new moon, and I believe it's in the sign of Aries. Let me double check on that. Yes, so we have the new moon solar eclipse in Aries coming up as I'm recording this, and this is going to be on March 29th on this upcoming Saturday. And then we also are experiencing Venus and Mercury in retrograde right now. And right now they are in the sign of Aries, but they will be moving into Pisces this week. Both of them are moving into Pisces this week. And so all of those astrological events can naturally bring up some challenging emotions that maybe have been getting a little bit shoved down, that need to come up to the surface to be tended to and need to be healed. Okay, so as I say that though, it's not something to like really stress about. Okay, this is going to happen very, very naturally. Okay, so what Spirit's saying is there could be like some experiences that you go through, like almost like trigger events, but they won't be triggering in the sense that you can't handle them. They're just serving as a catalyst for you to become aware of where you are still holding on to any emotional energy that needs to be processed and released. Okay, so it's like this energy that you're holding on to from maybe past experiences, past events, maybe some stuck stagnant energy that is connected to emotional turmoil that's being stored within your body or within your like your light body is what's coming through. So there's some kind of event that you may go through this week. Maybe not even an event. You just might be very sensitive, very empathic, tapped into the cosmic energy that's going to be flowing into this cosmic realm this week with, Mercury, Venus moving into Pisces, and then the new moon solar eclipse coming in as well. It's just naturally going to cause these emotions to get stirred up and being brought to the surface so that they can be faced, healed, mended, and released. Okay. But again, it's not something that you need to like fear or be worried or concerned with. Okay. Now, with that being said, though, Spirit is saying that this week you may feel called to like take some time to yourself. So there may be a lot of people calling in sick to work. So, maybe if you're a boss, you may be getting a lot of your employees are calling in sick. You're wondering why. It's just the cosmic alignments stirring up a lot of inner turmoil, inner emotions that need to be healed and processed. It's making people feel down. Some people may actually be coming down with illness, because when you don't face these emotional wounds or just, emotional energy overall, it gets stored within the body and it needs some way to expunge itself, some way to express itself. And so sometimes it can put you down through things like illness or just feeling more exhausted than normal. So lots of people will be needing time off. And so if you're tuning in, you may be wondering, why am I feeling so tired this week? Why am I feeling more emotional than normal? It's definitely because there's something that your emotional body and your body overall is trying to get you to face, trying to get you to look within and heal. And spirits, again, they're coming in and they're saying, like, it's not scary. It's okay. It's safe to go into those spaces. You are held in so much love. And on the other side of that is going to become, you're going to like walk towards this King of Pentacles and world energy, where you're going to close out this cycle once and for all. So you won't have to face these emotions again. You won't have to go through those catalytic events that are propelling you to face these emotions that are stored within. This is the release of it all. This is like the crossing the finish line, finally getting to the point where these things are no longer going to be affecting you, and they won't like have this I don't want to say sense, like it's like there's almost like a sense of control, but it's not control. It's just like they have this effect on you that when certain things happen that remind you of a past event, these emotions bubble up to the surface. And so now you're coming to a point where you're fully healing that. And when events mirror something that you went through in the past, it's not going to trigger these emotions again, because you're finally letting go of it all, and you're saying goodbye to it, and you're moving on to a new cycle and a new foundation of emotional stability and mental stability. Okay. This can also, the King of Pentacles can also be speaking to like financial stability. So when you're watching this, you may be receiving some type of blessing of income, such as like a salary raise, or like a windfall of abundance, maybe somebody blessing you with unexpected money, or some type of gift, some type of like physical gift, but it's connected to money in some way is what Spirit's saying. So it could be like even like coins, like maybe like gold coins, silver coins, $50, maybe like even like special things like a $2 bill, things that you don't see all the time. There's also like old money coming through too. So like, especially with like the coin references and the bills. So maybe somebody's gifting you like old bills that they say, maybe they have, I'm seeing like a binder where they have like all these old bills, like maybe like first printed editions of bills or something like that. And they're like gifting it to you. So that's a really cool message coming through for somebody, very specific. It's very, very specific there. But yeah, somebody may be getting some type of monetary gift that's very unexpected. And then we also have the salary raises coming in. Spirit saying this is also going to provide you with an up level, like a new foundation of financial stability, physical stability, as well as the mental and emotional stability that you're going to be healing in order to get to that point this week. Okay, so there is something too that you are walking away from. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull some more cards so we can get more clarity on this here. So I'm going to pull some cards from the Rider-Waite Traditional Tarot. Okay, this is the deck that tarot is based off of. I can't think of the person's first name who made this, but I know the name is Coleman. The last name is something with a P, like Paulina or something like that, or Paula. But Coleman. Created this deck. We have her to thank, or the lovely imagery that we get to see on all these other tarot decks. Okay, so that's an interesting message coming through too. So somebody could be learning tarot, because I usually don't channel messages like that. Okay, so we have a few cards here. So we have the King of Wands. Okay, King of Wands on the Three of Swords here. We have the Two of Wands on the Five of Cups. I'm going to put these up here actually, just so we have room for the oracle cards. And then we have Three of Wands. All right, let's get two more. Okay, we have the High Priestess and the King of Pentacles. Wow, that's a very powerful duo right there. And then let's see what our last card is for the world. Okay, there we go. Nine of Cups. All right, wow, that is also powerful. All right, yeah, so there is a choice that you're making here. You're being gifted some type of decision. This top card wants to come out too. Yeah, Ace of Cups, a new emotional stability, new emotional serenity, harmony, peace. Okay, so there is something that you're being guided to walk away from. Okay, and because we have the swords here, this could definitely be connected to like the way you're viewing things. So your perspective could be shifting around something. Maybe the way you once saw somebody or something, or even like how you once viewed yourself is changing, it's shifting. And you're stepping into this new energy, this new identity, really recognizing yourself as the king or queen that you are, this High Priestess energy, this King of Pentacles energy. But there's like a choice that needs to be made. And Spirit's also saying like time to be with yourself, to give yourself permission to allow yourself to go into those spaces of what you once were, what you are now, and what you're becoming. Okay, so I'm really seeing like this sort of like evolution of self. This is a very powerful message. I was not expecting this in this reading today. But it's like this deep evolution of self where you once saw yourself as somebody who, you know, was very much in that Three of Swords, this Three of Swords energy, this Five of Cups energy here, where you felt down, you felt defeated, you felt unworthy, you felt unloved, you felt undeserving. And now you are being guided to heal all that, to mend that, and to go into the spaces where you know, your external experiences or the people around you, like you're being guided to face what actually caused you to hold on to those untrue beliefs, because those beliefs are not true. That is not your identity. That is not who you are. You are a High Priestess. You are a King of Pentacles, and you're finally making the choice, okay, the choice with this Two of Wands here, to leave all that energy behind and to step into the truth and the light of who you really are, which is a badass High Priestess, a King of Pentacles, somebody who is strong-minded. Also, we have the King of Wands, somebody who is strong-willed, somebody who knows their worth, knows that they are worthy, knows that they are loved, knows that they deserve everything that you desire and want to receive and want to experience. And you are not standing for less than that. Okay, but there is like a moment this week, okay, maybe a couple moments this week where you're going to be pulled back into yourself to really face all that darkness. So it's really like dark night of the soul energy, but it's almost like you're coming out of that. So maybe you've been going through a dark night of the soul, and now you're coming out on the other side of that, and you're finally healing it all. You're walking away from that darkness, you're walking away from those shadows, and you're bidding it adieu. You're saying goodbye to all that pain, all that turmoil, and you're walking into a new foundation. And so you are closing out this cycle, but Spirit is saying that the choice is yours to walk away. You know, you get to choose whether or not you stay in that energy, versus walking into this new energy and embodying the light and the truth of who you really are and who you want to be and who you're becoming. So this is a very powerful message. Wow. Thank you so much, my loves, for being here with me today and for allowing me to channel these messages of guidance for you as you walk upon this this challenging but deeply rewarding journey. Okay. There is so much. I was gonna say like the world is yours, and look, the Two of Wands here, he's holding the world. And then we also have the World card here, where like you are closing out a cycle and stepping into a whole new world. That is a song. That is a Disney song. What is it? It's like The Little Mermaid, or I think it's from The Little Mermaid. So you may want to listen to that. I think it's like Part of Your World. Oh no, A Whole New World. That's from Aladdin. Yeah, Aladdin. Okay, so you may want to go listen to that song, A Whole New World, because there will be codes, awakening codes in it for you, healing codes, healing energy. And then if you feel called to, you may also want to watch Aladdin. But because I did confuse it with The Little Mermaid, that may also be significant to somebody as well. And I was thinking of Part of Your World, so you may also want to listen to that song as well, okay? And then Disney itself could also just be a sign for somebody. Maybe somebody really enjoys watching like Disney movies, or like reading the fairy tales from Disney stories and things like that. So that could also be significant to somebody. But yes, you are entering into like a whole new world, a whole new state of being, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You're creating a new foundation, new emotional foundation. That's like the first layer. Then it's also the mental foundation, and then the physical foundation. Okay, so first it's about getting clear internally, and then everything else will follow. So once you make peace with what's going on within, peace will start to show itself to you in your external world as well. Okay, the things you're wanting to manifest, the things you're wanting to experience, the people you're wanting to connect with, it will naturally start flowing to you once you make peace with what's going on internally, and you say goodbye to all of that pain of the past and those shadows and the things that you've been working on healing and mending and releasing from your being. Okay. So with that being said too, Spirit wanted me to say that because we have such powerful alignments happening this week with Mercury and Venus going, I mean, they're already retrograde, but entering into the sign of Pisces, and then we have the new moon solar eclipse. Usually new moons, we want to plant new seeds. So maybe sometime before the new moon, which is going to be on Saturday. So maybe like Wednesday or Thursday, you may want to do some type of ritual or practice where you're just letting go of things, shedding, like doing some type of release ritual. Okay, so let's see if Spirit will give me some examples. So one, decluttering, letting go of old things, letting go of stagnant energy in your home and your physical spaces. What else? Books. Spirit saying letting go of books. Okay, so you may have some old books. It's very, very specific, but that's like really coming through, making my head itch a little bit. I've never felt that before in reading. That's so interesting. But like books, somebody maybe has too many books and you're never going to read them. They're old energy. Let go of them. Okay, that's very specific for somebody. And through letting go of these books that you keep holding on to, and it doesn't have to be books, it could be anything physical, but books is specifically being highlighted, and maybe like journals too. But Spirit saying books specifically, through letting go of these objects too, like things that you're holding on to, saying like, one day I'll get to this, one day. It's just like taking up space of one day is when that day is today. So if you're not going to get to it today, then it's time to let it go. And through doing that, you will allow yourself to open up new space, new energy for new books to come in that you will actually be able to get to today or whenever you receive them. Okay. Or Spirit's also saying you may allow it to open up energy for something else that you'll actually be able to get to today. Okay. So stop saying one day if that day is not today. Okay. It's very powerful, very specific message for somebody there again. Okay, what else? Oh, so the releasing ritual. I was also seeing water, especially with this Eight of Cups energy here. So maybe doing something like what's on this card here, like lighting things up in a bowl. So maybe writing out everything that you want to let go of, everything that you want to release, especially on the emotional side. So any difficult, challenging emotions that you're working through, journal about them. Any mental thought patterns, habits, people, places, experiences that you're having, anything that you want to let go of on a mental, emotional, and physical level. But Spirit's really highlighting mental and emotional here. Write it out, journal about it, and then put it in a bowl, light it on fire. And then if you feel called to, you can also put it in the water, dump it in the water and let it float away. And you don't have to do all of those elements. You know, if you're like near a river, you don't want to light it on fire, just let it go in the river. If you're not near a river, near a natural water source, just, you know, get a bowl, a safe fire safety bowl, you know, light it on fire and let it go. Okay, of course, make sure that you're being safe. You're taking safety precautions with that as well. And if you don't want to do that too, you can just write it out and then rip it up and then throw it away and let it be gone. Okay, that works too. You know, just keep it simple. Okay, let's see if anything else is coming through here. No, I think that's it for these cards here. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards to tie up your reading here. All right, so I'm going to pull a card from this deck here. This is the Sacred Geometry of Relationships Oracle. So I'm just going to shuffle it a few times. And then we will pull your cards. Okay, so we got one. Let's get a couple, 2, 3. Let's get one more. Okay. What is our last card? There we go. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Oh, so we have 20 forgiveness. The energy of forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. Yes, forgiveness. Forgive yourself, forgive others, forgive and forget. Forgive your external circumstances. Okay. And I know we said forgive and forget, like subconsciously that came through. But what's coming through with that is like, you don't have to forget just because you forgive. Okay. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget what happened, what you went through, what you experienced, but it means you make peace with it. You allow yourself to say like, hey, what I went through was meant to happen because I was doing the best that I could with what I was given in the moment. And you allow yourself to make peace with, you know, maybe other people that were involved, and you say like, hey, you know, I forgive them for what they put me through because they were doing the best with what they had at the time or what they knew at the time. People can only operate from their current level of consciousness, from their current conditioning and beliefs, mindsets. You know, we can't see what we don't know. We can't see what we're unwilling to see. And sometimes it's a lot easier to pretend that we can't see things because it's less painful. Okay. And so just remember that, you know, when people don't want to see what you're trying to show them, it's not because they don't love you. It's not because they don't appreciate you. It's because it hurts and they don't want to face that darkness themselves yet. But you have done that work. You've done that deep healing work. You've gone within the shadows and you faced it for yourself. Now it's time to forgive it all, forgive yourself, forgive others, and let it all go and step into the light of this new, quote unquote, new you, new energy of love, new strong foundations of mental, emotional, physical stability, new journeys of exploration. Yes, like you get to step into this new world. But this week is highlighting, you know, processing, closing out those challenging emotions. And one of the ways you're going to do that is through forgiveness. Okay, so what's coming up too is the Ho'opono prayer. This is a Hawaiian prayer that you can recite to yourself to help yourself move through these emotions that you're facing this week and to help you invite in the energy of forgiveness. So let's see if I can remember it here. It's, I'm sorry, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. All right, say it with me this last time if you haven't joined in yet. I'm sorry, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. And just affirm that to yourself anytime you're feeling a little bit unsteady in your emotions or mental well-being, when you're processing these difficult things that you're releasing from your being, that you're letting go of, just come back to that Ho'oponopono prayer, and it will help you move through this energy that you are letting go of, that you are releasing, and it will help you come into a space of forgiveness. All right, we have 43, transparency. The energy of transparency supports our expansion toward a higher vibrational state of being with more insight, honesty, and clarity. Ooh, my throat is cracking here. Okay, sorry about that, loves. I had to pause for a minute to take some water so you don't have to listen to that. But we have 43, transparency here. And I love this. So I'm really drawn to the 4-3, which reminds me of like when people would see 1-4-3 and they'd say the meaning is I love you. So somebody really needs to hear this. I feel this is a message coming in from somebody else, and this could also be from somebody who has passed on. And this could be a male figure. Okay, so maybe somebody who is a male that has passed on. You have some mediumship coming through today. Wow, this is such a powerful, transformative reading here for somebody. Oh, just a moment, love. Let's see what the message is, because it's coming in slow and steady. So this person is somebody that is not, they don't talk a lot. They don't say a lot of words. And I'm feeling that there's somebody in your life, or maybe somebody who was once in your life who has passed on, that you could be connecting this energetic healing, this emotional healing that you're working through this week towards. And what I'm seeing is that this person, they don't usually say a lot. They would keep to themselves, or they keep to themselves. And sometimes, I don't know if that was the problem, them keeping to themselves, but there are definitely problems in this connection, in this relationship. And it's connected to also being transparent. So maybe you weren't always able to be transparent with them. Maybe they weren't always able to be transparent with you. Or there could even be like a love triangle situation here, where there was just like a lack of transparency in the connection. So I'm seeing an example of like a parental relationship. So this could be a parent or even like a grandparent figure. But what I'm seeing is like, maybe you were the child and you had your two parents, but there were some issues of transparency. And the example I'm seeing is, like maybe somebody was seeing somebody else and they caused like turmoil within the family unit. And so this is just what's coming through to let you know if this message is for you or not. Okay. They're not saying that what happened was right or wrong. But they just want you to know that they love you. Okay. That's really all that's coming through. I've not really received a message like that in a general collective reading. So if that message is for you, please let me know. And this is coming from the male figure who has passed on. So they don't really like speak a lot. They keep to themselves. And there was like a dynamic of like lack of transparency, or this inability to be honest with themselves about what they were doing, and within the family unit as well. And so this could have definitely caused a lot of this emotional turmoil that you're working through. Okay, and they're also saying what else is coming through is that none of it was your fault. None of it had anything to do with you. And it's finally time for you to let go of and release feeling like you have to carry that burden, because it wasn't your fault. It's not your fault. And that burden is not your responsibility to carry. It's really no one's to carry. Okay. And as I say that, you may say like, it's that person who's coming through telling me that. It's not. Okay. That's all Spirit's letting me share there. They don't want me to go too deep into it, but it's no one's fault. It's just experiences. Sometimes we just go through experiences that we don't understand. They're soul lessons that we have to face as individuals and as communities. And this was just one of them, okay? But it is not your fault. And you need to know that. It's not your fault, and they love you. So what is coming through too, okay, they're still hanging around here, but they're not going to be talking too much anymore. So what Spirit's saying to that too is they want me to share with you about conditioning. People only operate and make choices based on their level of conditioning. So this could be something that was learned. There could be something that they went through as a child, or within their own family unit, that caused them to think that these actions, these ways of being, were okay, were normal, even if they weren't, even if they were feeling some type of way about it, even if it was creating this emotional turmoil within the family unit. They may not have been able to see that because it's like a conditioning, a genetic conditioning that they just were unable to overcome or unable to see beyond. Okay, it's like I said, with the forgiveness card here, where people only operate from their current level of consciousness, from their conditioned beliefs and their ways of being and habits and comfort zones. And so that could be what Spirit's saying, that that experience was operating out of. It was operating out of like conditioned belief, conditioned habits, comfort zones, mirroring what they once experienced in their own childhood, or in their own life, from the relationships that they were connecting with when they were younger and what was being modeled to them. Okay. But now Spirit's also saying now, these messages are so strong here. Okay. Now what's happening is you are being guided to break those generational curses, those generational patterns. And that's why you're facing all this emotional turmoil, this mental turmoil, and shifting into a new space. And that's why too, Spirit saying like it may have taken you a long time to get to this point of finally getting to cross that finish line and to see the light of day, and to see this like new energy of who you really are at your core and who you're wanting to become, is because you have been healing and facing emotional and mental wounds that have been in your family lineage for eons. And you're the one that gets to break it. You're the one that gets to shatter that glass ceiling and to say, this is not going to happen anymore in my life. This is not going to happen in my relationships. It's not going to happen in my life experience. It's not going to happen to my children. It's not going to happen to my grandchildren. And that's why it's all coming up now, to be healed. Wow. This eclipse energy is so powerful, and it is bringing some big changes, huge insights, huge revelations, and also connecting you with loved ones in a way that you didn't think you would be able to connect with them, and also allowing you to see them in a way that you didn't think you would be able to see them in. Okay, like you're being able to see through a different lens, through a different perspective, yourself and your family members, your friends, the people around you. You're finally able to see like why people are operating the way that they are in your life, and you're getting to choose, which ones you connect with and you let into your inner circle, and like establishing new boundaries and new foundations for yourself moving forward. All right, so thank you for that message. That was a powerful message for somebody there. So let me know if that resonates with you. And remember, love. This is all about love. This is all leading you back to love. And that's why they came through initially with that message of love you. Love you. Wow, foundations. Here we go. First chakra. This is the chakra of foundations. The energy of the root chakra supports our sense of safety in a physical world and reminds us to enjoy our physical bodies. Yes. So this week you may want to, you may feel called to connect with your physical body through movement, like a yoga practice, Pilates, what is that? Aerobics. Maybe I'm like seeing hula hooping. So maybe somebody's going to do some hula hooping, get your hips moving, maybe doing some like belly dancing, anything to connect with your lower chakra system, your first chakra, your sacral chakra, and to ground your feet on the earth. Okay. So maybe going outside, walking barefoot on the earth, take your shoes off, leave them inside, leave them at the door, walk barefoot on Mama Gaia and ground yourself with the earth energies. Okay, Spirit's also saying there's electromagnetic currency that runs through the earth, and by connecting with that currency, you allow yourself to naturally receive like the natural healing energies of the earth and to connect yourself with the earth. And this is a very powerful transformative week for the collective, with the retrogrades happening, but especially with that solar eclipse energy coming in. It is like wiping the slate clean and opening up a new portal, like opening up a portal for a new foundation, a whole new world coming in again. We really need to go listen to that song. And like, I know I do too, because I couldn't even remember what song it was. But yes, go listen to that song, because that's what's like being ushered in this week. Okay, so I'm also picking up on like Age of Aquarius, so maybe learning about the Age of Aquarius if you're not familiar with it. We are in the Age of Aquarius, but we are the waybringers of the Age of Aquarius, because we have just entered into it like a couple of months ago, I think. And so we are the waybringers of the Age of Aquarius. Yeah, so maybe learning about that as well. And you don't need to like go out and learn about it, is what Spirit's saying. You can naturally receive the intuitive guidance and awareness of what your role is in the the bringing up of the Age of Aquarius, through tapping into your self-meditation and connecting with your physical body and grounding with the earth. Okay. Ooh, okay. All right, let's see what our last card is here. We have 39, Surrender. Surrender. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. Yes. Okay, yes, I love this so much. So, whatever you're going through this week, surrender to it, because it is going to be, it's going to be emotionally challenging, but it is, like I said, it's going to be so rewarding, because on the other side of it, you're stepping into this High Priestess energy, this King of Pentacles, strong new foundations, new insight, new ways of being, new ideas, new emotional support, new connections, new experiences. So at the beginning of this week, when these challenging emotions, mental struggles come up, surrender to what you're going through. Don't fight against it, because you're not going to be able to. Like I said, call in sick if you need to. Take a day off, surrender, and go outside and connect with nature, because there's so much healing to be experienced when you connect with nature directly. Okay, so this week is all about surrender, healing, and transformation through forgiveness and being transparent with yourself and with others that you're connecting with. All right, love, so let's go ahead and tie up this reading with one last card here. We're going to draw from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck, and we're just going to draw a message, an affirmation. All right, so let's see what our affirmation is to send us off into the week. And I'm not going to interpret this. I'm going to try my best to not interpret it. All right, we'll take this one here. Oh, I love this. We have Joan of Arc, the Warrior of Light. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. That is so beautiful. The Warrior of Light, Joan of Arc. I've never drawn this card. I have had this deck for years and years and years, and I've never drawn this card, which can tell you that this is a powerful as fuck week. Like, so powerful, so transformative, because like I've said, I've had this deck for years and I cannot remember this card being in here. I've never drawn it, which definitely signifies new beginnings, new adventures, new energy coming in so strong. All right, so one more time with the affirmation. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. You are strong, you are protected. You are a warrior of light. It's time you start acting like it. It's time to step into that energy. And this week is going to propel you into it, whether you're ready for it or not. So get ready. All right, loves, that is it for today's reading. I thank you so much once again for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please like this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the next reading. All right, loves, have a beautiful day. Bye.